and welcome to Zia Cooking. This is Kerry Caldwell and I'm glad you're back in my kitchen today. We're doing something amazing, special, and so fun. The name of my video today is called Manhattans, Movie Stars, and Bruschetta. Make sure you click subscribe because we're gonna have a party and I wanna make sure you're invited to the next one, all right? I have a very special guest joining me today and I gotta tell you, this guy is amazing. You probably recognize him. Maybe you've seen him on Breaking Bad or Longmire or hanging out with Clint Eastwood after they're done filming The Mule. But I'll tell you what, this guy's been around. And if you haven't had a chance to watch some of Mark Vasconcellos' movies, you should, because one of the best scenes I ever saw is when Sybil Shepherd shot you in the foot.
Yes.
I think we elicited a big old cuss word out of Mark then. Mark is my guest today. Mark is a really special person in the Las Cruces film industry and around the world. And I'm so lucky to have him. And it's going to be hard to share the mic, but I'm going to tell you, a couple of months ago, this guy was in a tux, getting off a yacht at the Cannes Film Festival. He was partying with millionaires in a Moroccan tent, and now he's in my kitchen. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you so much.
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm honored to be here. This is awesome.
Good, that's great. Today I'm going to be knocking out a great, wonderful little munchie that we can have because I want to learn how to make a Manhattan, and Mark's going to show me how to do that. Every girl should know how to make a classy cocktail, right? So let's get started. I took some time and I went ahead and I cut up a French baguette into some 1/2 inch slices, and I brushed them with some olive oil and I dropped them under the broiler. While those were getting brown, I went ahead and I chopped up a Roma tomato. Make sure when you're thinking about topping your bruschetta that you're looking at a Roma tomato. These are just perfect with the juice, the seeds, and everything that you need to go in there. We'll go ahead and dump that in.
Mix
Mark,
it up.
I'm gonna have you do the stirring.
Okay, cool.
We have some delicious hot hatch green chili, and that's where we put that New Mexico flair.
Putting the Zia on it.
There we go, exactly. So we're gonna knock that in.
Cool.
And remember, folks, cooking fans, bruschetta is for meaning toasted bread. And so the toppings we're putting on a traditional Italian kind of mix, but we're throwing in that green chili. And I'm gonna go ahead and ask Mark to go ahead and
dash it with some salt.
There we go, exactly. Now one thing I like to do too, cooks, is we can rub some garlic directly on the toast when it comes out of the oven. It's a nice little garlic taste there. And for those of us who like to work with fresh herbs, I love it. One tip I have is when you're using basil in the Italian style, that we're gonna rip it up and tear it up. We're just gonna add that in for flavor.
We can smell it here.
Yeah, baby.
That looks beautiful.
It smells good right where I am.
Oh, good. And I'm just gonna add a
bit of olive oil.
drizzle there.
A little bit of garlic.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Perfect. Yes.
Sweet.
We went ahead and I flavored that olive oil by putting some chopped garlic inside of it. Now, one thing, when you're out and you're having a party, I encourage everybody that we either all eat garlic or we don't, okay? That's the important thing to do. There's nothing worse than coming up and giving somebody a hug while I'm chomping on some fresh garlic. So I try to keep it so that it's savory and it blends well. Wonderful.
I love giving people the garlic breath. Hi, how you doing?
Wonderful. Now that we have that, we're gonna let that meld together, and I'm gonna grab us some ice.
Libation time.
And here we go. Mark's gonna teach us how to make a wonderful Manhattan. How come Manhattans are your favorite drink, Mark?
It's kind of the family drink, and it all stemmed from my dad's mom.
Okay.
And she always had a pitcher of fresh Manhattans in the house.
A pitcher?
So yeah, or something like this.
Right.
You know, it was already mixed, done, ready to go. She would just pour it over ice, and every time you walked in the house, it's like, you want a Manhattan?
Oh my
And
gosh.
this was her thing. And she was a staunch German lady, big gal. She lived to be 97 years old.
Wow.
So we're thinking that this may be the ticket.
It's the elixir of life.
It was fantastic. And she did it. I'm just going to get gnarly in here.
There we go, good. I'm sorry, I might have froze that up for us.
No, that's all right. The alcohol will kill anything that's on my fingers.
There we go.
So anyway, fill your glass up with some ice.
Great.
Get it going. One more. So basically, Grandma's recipe was you could use Jack or Jim And it just depends on what kind of flavor you like. Jim Beam is a little more airy, a little more aromatic.
Okay.
The Sour Mash is a little sweeter. So I use Jack on this, and it's usually 2 parts Jack or Jim, and then Sweet Vermouth.
Okay.
Okay, so that's pre-mixed, pre-measured.
Right.
And then you throw in a couple splashes of bitters, and then some cherries to top it off. So
Why do you put bitters in it?
it just adds a little extra Italian kick to it, or whatever it is.
Right.
But you know, it just so your whiskey isn't too overpowering. And we'll just do a little half splash. Can't be drinking. Drinking in the morning. Or what do they call it? Day drinking? Day drinking?
Yeah. Nothing wrong.
We don't
with-
recommend this, but it's okay every now and then.
As long as it's not before church hour, we say, right?
Oh, I don't know. It might be better before church. All right, so I usually go for like 4 or 5 little splashes.
All right.
And I'm making a mess. 'cause
That's
I'm
all
a
right. That's what we
slob.
do in the kitchen.
Exactly.
Best thing about it.
Do. And then I like to do a little extra cherry juice, so I'll do like a teaspoon. See if I can do this without spilling it. You got me all nervous.
That's
and
okay.
do that.
I can't believe I get a movie star like Mark nervous.
Movie star. We're always working that movie deal, huh?
Now, talking about filming in Las Cruces, what do we have going on in Tamalewood?
Las Cruces has become a haven for independent films now. About 10 years ago, I moved here and I noticed there wasn't really much of a film business. So I started talking with all the local politicians. I got Jeff Steinborn, Senator Jeff Steinborn, to sit down with us.
Right.
Spent 2.5 hours with him talking about the film industry, and he just got it. So from that, we created the film office, Film Las Cruces. And we had to politic, we had to put it out there, we had to tell Hollywood we were here. And just in the last 2 years, we had Bruce Willis come shoot a movie, 2 movies. And then we had Mel Gibson.
Right.
We had Dolph Lundgren. So we're getting some big movies in, and we're always making our own little independent movies, which are free on Tubi TV.
Yeah.
And we just have a lot of fun doing it. But what's great about the film industry, it's kind of recession proof.
Right.
So whatever the world's doing, they're still going to make movies.
Yeah, and people love being entertained
Yes.
and having our mind off
That's
of our
what we do. We go to
troubles.
the theater, or we watch streaming now. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it hires a lot of people, and the pay is really good. So it's an economic stimulus.
Well, let me ask you a question. Talking about hiring people, what type of food do you usually find on set? Is that something that everybody have to pack a
That
lunch?
depends on the set.
Okay.
For like Clint Eastwood, we
Right.
had Clint Eastwood here shooting a movie. He was here for I'd say a week or 2. Oh my gosh. Steak, lobsters.
Everything.
They were big lunches.
Right.
But you feed a crew, you know, they got to get them filled up.
Right.
And they got to go. So we had really good food on that set. But it varies, you know.
Right.
I usually try and stay away from the fish when you're on movie sets, but they
Okay.
have it. But if it's lobster, steak, spaghetti, pastas, things, salads like that, all in. It's all in. It's great.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, when you were talking about making in Manhattan, all I could think of was the Manhattan Project and how it's connected to the state of New Mexico.
That was all filmed here too.
Yes, and so there's a lot of things that are going on in the film industry. Another thing I want to talk about a little bit, Mark, is you've been about everywhere that I can think of in the state when you did
Yeah.
your special for the PBS channel.
My
Was
travel
that right?
show, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I first moved here and I hadn't seen a lot about New Mexico, nothing on television. So me and my buddy, we created a travelogue show called Enchantments. And we did, I think, 13 episodes. We had a lot of fun just traveling around doing all the festivals and things that are there to see in New Mexico. And we just had a blast. And we got it on PBS. We got it on Albuquerque television. We had it on Las Cruces television. We had it on ABC 7 in El Paso. Yeah, so it got around.
Yeah.
And it was kind of one of the first travelogue shows about New Mexico. And, you know, things die out and we went on to different projects, but it was fun and we had a lot of cool times doing it. And you can see those on my YouTube channel.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to point out is that you have all sorts of fun things going on your YouTube channel. Tell us how we find that channel, Mark.
Gotta promote. YouTube.com/Mal Falcon, MALFALCON. And that's just one. We got a podcast going.
Right.
We got our movie channels. We're doing all kinds of stuff. So
wonderful.
It's kind of like you know,
Yeah.
we just put it out there and hopefully people will watch and enjoy and
have
share.
some fun. Exactly. Talk about New Mexico.
All right,
and
let's see how
food.
stiff this is.
Oh no.
Woo. Cheers, salud. Good.
That
Got a
is
little
very,
kick.
very tasty. Yes.
And you can make it as sweet as you want. You
I
can
could
add
see being in trouble.
Yeah. Grandma was right.
Well,
you know?
Mark is notorious for throwing some of the best parties, and I have yet to be invited to one. So I'm hoping that inviting him to the Zia Cooking will get me one of those golden
heck
tickets.
yes. Yes, we
All
gotta do that soon.
That's wonderful. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about some food now that I've got these crunchy baguettes ready to go.
Yum, yum.
I would really highly suggest when you guys have friends and guests over, thank you for letting me put my back to the camera. Some people say it's my best view. Just kidding. When you have friends over, it's always wonderful to sit and enjoy family time, friend time, catch up with people and have a cocktail. This is a delicious drink, an aperitif, something that you would welcome your friends and family in to enjoy. This is also something lovely that you could sit around a fire outside in the evening
Keeps you
time.
warm.
Yeah, so it's a really, really delicious drink. Now, I always try to provide a little bit of food on the side when I'm having friends over, because sometimes if we just do a little bit too much of this, we might have an empty stomach. So I'm just gonna share with you what this looks like, guys, and I'm so glad that you came into the Zia Cooking Kitchen today. Make sure you subscribe to my show. I'd love to hear some things about today's crazy fun fest in the comments.
Yeah, send us messages and comments.
Yes, and we're really looking forward to seeing where we are gonna go after this cocktail, what kind of movies are gonna be made in New Mexico, and if you wanna line up out the door, I think Mark's selling autographs for only $2 today. There'll be a couple $100 next week. Just kidding. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys are here. Manfred, as a filmmaker, do you have any questions? My star producer and production team.
I'm all good. I just want to let you know I'm also a filmmaker. I made The American Experience 2021.
Awesome.
I do not stream. I go through independent movie theaters because that's where the money is.
Very cool.
Woo! Chasing money. These guys are big.
That's what it is. And we all got to stick together. We all have our little thing going.
Help each other. Why not, man?
And yeah, I think the nice thing about this community is, in fact, that we all help each other out in so many ways.
We do.
You can see it here with the
And we
cooking
eat
show.
well and we drink well.
I don't drink, but that's okay.
We do.
But that's really what makes this area so wonderful.
Right.
In comparison to the. So cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Great.
Salud. Salud. Salud.
Great. Thank you for dropping in. We'll see you next time. We're going to have a good time today and enjoy a little bit of this wonderful bruschetta.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Good job, baby. Cheers. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
The chili's kicking in, man. I'm feeling that burn.